Peace. Peace. Yeah. Peace and love. Peace and love. Happy Monday. Just gonna let the chat build up. What is going on, y'all? This is a Monday. Happy Monday to everybody out there. We're gonna get it in today. We're definitely gonna get it in today with some stuff that I don't believe that any flat earther has really talked about before. First, let me get a level check. Any echoes? Can you hear me loud and clear? AJ, let me know what's good. Do I got any echoes? What is happening, y'all? Yo, it has been a crazy weekend. I hope you guys have had yourselves a good weekend as well. And you good? All right, yo, let me know if you can also hear this cheer right here. Can you hear that cheer? Okay, so no to the cheer. Okay. What's going on here? I'm muted now. Let me figure this out. Mic is up. Monitor is up. All right. Hello. Can you hear me? Peace. Let me know what's going on. Just want to make this stream nice for y'all, so let me know how I'm sounding. I was loud and clear, and now I'm muted. Let me just turn this off and turn it back on. All right, let me know. You can hear me now. Okay. Perfect. Yo, I've been having some. I'm not gonna lie. See, like what the hell is that? See what I'm saying? Ever since I did that Chat GPT thing, yo, my laptop's been messed up. Ever since I did Chat GPT, my laptop has been acting weird, y'all. Not even gonna lie. My laptop has been acting weird, y'all. All right, let me see if we can get. Let me see if we can get everything now. All right. My laptop has been acting weird, y'all. All right, let me see if we can get. All right, we good. We Gucci. Small echo. I know how to fix that. Okay. All right, we should be good in the building. All right, we should be good in the building. Okay, perfect. All right, let's get this let's get this going, y'all. What's going on? Peace and love. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. We here. We here. Yo, I got something that I want to share with you guys. Like the title says, how the what the globe really looks like. Okay. Now that's a little bit of a a misleading title because we are shown pictures of the globe that look like this. Let me show y'all here what we are shown. We are shown. See, look at my laptop. It's crazy acting up. We are shown pictures from space. We're led to believe that Earth looks like this, and I have a lot of problems with that. I mean, I'm sure you guys do too, but I have a lot of issues with the blue marble image, and everything wants to go all weird on me, but that's fine. I am okay. I am not okay with this blue ball image that we're getting from space, quote unquote. You know, everything is so neat and clear, and it's just let's see a NASA photo. NASA images. NASA, obviously, we know that NASA in Hebrew means to deceive, and we are getting fake images like this in order to pacify us, in order to keep us in a daze, in order to keep us looking down and not up. If it ever wants to load, I will show you shortly. And well, you guys can see all of these images right here, and just how they look, and it basically, the colors of the soil changes, the sizes of the continents change. There's many clouds, like stamp tool clouds, showing that it's been photoshopped. A lot of things like that, a lot of little things like that, and I'm thinking to myself, how would it really look from space? And then they give us these these renderings here, like these heat signature renderings that is only measuring the land mass, so you can see the ocean floor and everything like that. It's crazy. Somebody here made a NASA kind of parody here saying flat. But you guys can see how all my letters and everything is not loading on my laptop, and that's crazy because it only started doing that after I used Chat GPT. It's like I used the Chat GPT about this flat earth stuff, and then now all of a sudden my shit is just like not working. That's crazy. But it's okay, it's not gonna get in the way of what we're doing today. Oh, this was the craziest image, the one with the moon, the fake moon behind it. Oh my God. Well, I want to jump right into it because I do not want to lose y'all. I want to keep you here, and I want to get right into the nitty gritty so that we can get on the debunking. What is going on, everybody in the chat? Thank you. Thanks for coming out today. Yeah, different artists, exactly. Different artists are making different pictures of the globe, and there should be like one lead panel, really. This is probably the best image that they have, but this is where they were looking out of their of the cockpit of the window, going up to space, and well, quote unquote, it was just high altitude balloon imagery. That's all it was, and they blocked off the window with like a piece of paper or something like that. So really what you're looking at here when you look at this image, which is why it looks the realest, is you're looking at like a piece of California or Mexico here. Like it's just a sliver. Like look at that. It's like all ocean. Don't think that this is like North America somehow and South America is somewhere down here where we can't see, and then this is like Hawaii out here and this is the whole Pacific Ocean we're looking at. No, this is like California right here, all like California right here, probably, right? And then this is just a small piece of the Pacific Ocean. We're not even able to see Hawaii out here. That's how close they were to the Earth. Okay, that's how low they were flying when they took these images. Okay, so I want you to know what you're looking at while you're looking at it. Um, let's see here. A picture like this is hilarious. It's just hilarious, and it's just hilarious how the Terminator line. It's like on all types of angles. You know what I mean? Like it's never. It's never like consistent, right? So this here we have Africa. Here's the Horn of Africa over here. Here's like Saudi Arabia and stuff like that. This would be Spain here. This would be England over here, getting covered by the the clouds, which is how it's usually like in England. And then up here would be like Greenland or something like that, right? And that would mean that America and South America would somehow take up this portion of the globe, and then you'd have like a little itty bitty 1/3 left to fit all of Russia and China in. Like, are they dumb? Like, how dumb do they think we are? God damn. So, if we now zoom out, man, my laptop, man, ChatGPT did a number on me. And this is supposed to be from space with the curve, but like if you think about the size of the land masses here and how much curve that they just introduced into it, this would damn near have to be all of Russia that we're seeing here, like Russia and China, because remember the Pacific Ocean is supposed to take up most of the Earth, and they just gave us so much curvature here and such big land masses here that it's like, where are you going to fit the rest in? It's just craziness. All right, y'all. So let me get into the nitty gritty of it right now, okay? I was driving down the streets. Just making sure you guys can still see me. I was driving down the street, y'all, and it was like a rainstorm. It was raining. And before it was even raining, it was like a misty cloud cover. You know those foggy days, right? It was a foggy day, and it was one of those days where you could barely see down the street, right? Well, I thought to myself, like this is interesting. This is like proof that the Earth pictures that they give us are a complete lie, right? So I'm going to take this slow. I'm going to take it step by step with you. So here we go. This is my view out of the car. Okay, I wasn't driving. I was actually in the passenger seat for this. Oh my God! For this stream, for this pictures that I shot, and so I was not driving while taking these. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. Okay, here we go. So if y'all can see that very clearly, you can see that there's a bunch of cars on the road, and they're spraying up the mist behind them. And it's like the closer you travel to another car, the more you have to like put on your windshield wipers, that kind of a rainy day, right? And I'm looking, and I know where I am, but I can't see anything of where I'm going. Okay, like think about that. I know where I am on the road. I know what I'm about to pass. I know what exit sign is coming up. But I couldn't even see the exit signs. I couldn't see the hills behind the highway. I couldn't see the forest on the sides of the highway. I couldn't see the multiple hills going up and down on the highway where you're looking at the cars in the distance. I couldn't see any of that. And that made me think about the globe Earth, the Earth that they give us, right? So, NASA, globe, Earth. Gonna do some just out of the box thinking with you guys live here and just kind of get inside my mind and how I do it, right? So, Apollo Earth from space. We will bring up this if it wants to load. It does want to load for us. Thank God. Okay, and we are going to zoom in here on this globe picture that they gave us. Oh, I like that. I like how it went big like that for us. Here we go. Okay, now this is the photo that they give us of Earth. This is official, the blue marble. This is the official Apollo 17 mission, Earth from space, okay? Now we are going to leave that up, and then we're going to leave this up. Now, right away, if you're thinking with your third eye or your first eye, you should be seeing what I'm saying. Now, this, obviously in this photo, I can't see not even 1 kilometer ahead of me. Not even 1 kilometer ahead of me. I mean, it was slow driving. Everybody was driving slow, let's just say, right? It was a slow drive. And I'm sitting there in all this atmosphere, this haze, this fog around me. And I can't see a kilometer ahead of me. Now, how many kilometers away from Earth are we in this photo? First of all, we don't even see an atmosphere here, right? It looks like the clouds are stuck to the Earth. You know what I mean? We don't see an atmosphere, a blue haze, an arch around the planet, a canopy. We don't see any of that. All we see is around a hard outline, and as soon as the very edges of that hard outline, you see the Earth. And of course, the scientists will say, well, that's because the atmosphere is relatively so thin and so low to the ground, it seems high to us, like the sky seems high to us, but once you zoom out, basically the sky melts right into the horizon. Come on. We know that that is false because they've even given us imagery with this blue, weird horizon around us, right? So I'm looking here, I'm saying, I'm looking at this photo, I'm looking at, and I took more too. I took more photos. Here is another one. This was while I was driving, but it wasn't the highway, so I just stuck my phone out of the window. But this is while I'm driving, and I could probably see almost a kilometer ahead of me. Almost a kilometer ahead of me, right down there to the very bottom. Now you see how I'm going downhill, but then there's a drop in altitude, and it hides the road, and then the road reappears smaller in the distance. I also want you guys to keep that in mind for something else that we're going to go into, and that will have to do with vanishing point and all that. Okay, and then this is the next picture that I took. Same thing. You know, I could barely see the clouds, the trees in the distance. I can't see a cloud. You know, I know that there's clouds high up above. Like if I took a flight and we made it out of this fog, I know that there would be more clouds and then a nice, peaceful, calm blue sky. You know, you guys have all been on planes before, so you know how that works. Okay, so let me just get out of that. Keep that in mind, okay? The atmosphere. Now let's go back to this globe Earth. Are you telling me that there are no foggy mornings or rainy days anywhere we look on the globe? Do you understand what I'm saying? This Earth, this whole Earth should be like a hazy marble. Like, let's see if we can even find a picture of like a hazy marble. You know, because I don't know about y'all, but I'm from the era where we used to collect marbles and we used to play marbles. You know, we used to play for keeps. Sometimes we'd play just, you know, a friendly game of marbles, but when it was on, and we would play for keeps. You know, you shoot the marble, and whatever marbles you hit, you keep those marbles, man. So you really want a sharp shooter. You really want a sharp shooter marble. Not finding anything that I'm really looking for. I was really looking for literally like a hazy marble. But this is kind of close to what I'm saying. When we look out at this picture right here, oh my God, see how it is, you guys? Chat GPT's messing with me. So right here, you got the haze, right? And say this is covering most of southern Ontario, because that's where I was, and the size of that is, say, let's say, this is covering like yeah, I don't know, Wisconsin or something like that. You know, I'm trying to liken it to an American city. Say this is Seattle, right? The rainy city or whatever you guys call it. Say this is Seattle, and the whole state of Seattle is covered in haze, and a little bit of Washington State is also covered in that same haze. You guys are sharing a big storm, okay? Um, that would mean that this Earth. So say we go to a section of Africa, right? Some part of Africa should be so hazed out that we can't even make it out. But if you look at these pictures, it's like perfect, crisp, clear definition of the the land to the ocean. That shouldn't happen. It should look more like this, what you're seeing here on the right, where it's all hazy, and we know that the further you look, the bluer it gets. You know what I mean? And we're called the blue marble for a reason, right? It should look more like this than anything, because um, when we're fighting through the blue atmosphere, and it's the gases that make it look blue, you know, the oxygen and the magnesium and the all of the minerals floating around in the sky, the helium, the hydrogen, you got magnesium, manganese, iron, you have all of that stuff floating through the air. And the that's why, you know, the further things get, the further things go into the blue, like moon in day. So when you're looking at the moon in the day, you're seeing that atmospheric blocking out of the moon, and you're getting that blue hazy distortion, you know, like right here, right? You see that, okay? Now we look back on this and we see a hazy day. And then we look back on this hazy marble. This should be what the earth, you know, kind of looks like. I would introduce a couple browns in there, some oranges in there, but very faintly and definitely not distinct. Now, see what we have here is a low altitude photo of the earth. All you got to do is take a bubble lens camera, put that bubble lens on it, that fisheye lens on it, and the edges will automatically depress, or they'll automatically sink in. This is what a bubble lens does. So bubble lens photo. Okay? A bubble lens will make all of the stuff on the sides look as if it's curving around, like it's wrapping around a corner. This is here. Here we have some great photos and examples of bubble lens. Look at the screen, and look how everything in the middle is relatively proportioned, right? You have this tree standing upright. You have a little bit of distortion here in the post, but these fences that are going back is almost pretty straight. You know, this one in the middle is straight here, and this one down here curving up is, you see a little bit of curve, but look at this tree bending over here. And then look at these trees in the background, even more in the background, just bending and curving, okay? And it's making it look like it's really wrapping around, like as if it is a globe, and you could see the other side of this forest, or what have you. You go back to the Apollo mission, and that's exactly what you get, right? You're getting the least amount of distortion right in the middle, and they give you a hot spot, which is funny, like a bright spot, as if like the sun is right behind us. And then as you come to the side, you're seeing this cloud kind of starting to droop to the side. You see this kind of tornado looking cloud up here in the top right kind of start bending backwards, and the land up here you see start to bend backwards. Well, let me tell you guys, they're about a 500 feet in the air, 1,000 feet in the air, maybe 2,000 feet in the air. Well, I don't know what it is, right? But they're up there in high altitude, high orbit, low orbit, or whatever they want to call it. Hold on, I'm gonna just plug in my laptop. And at that height, they're able to look down out of the craft, or the balloon that's up there is looking down, Remember, all the technology that we get is like 40 years later, right? Than what the military has and what the deep science has. And so they launched this balloon. They probably have this automated, like kind of like a drone thing. And we're looking down and it's taking a picture that's flat, right? But they're taking it with a bubble lens. So you got to imagine they lift off, right? They lift off. Say they're in Madagascar. They lift off. They're coming higher and higher and higher, and then they look down, and then they shoot uh, the camera. They point the camera down and shoot some images with the bubble lens, and the bubble lens makes it look like it's round, but it's not round. It's actually flat with rounded edges like this bubble lens. You know that this earth here in this photo is not curved at the side. It's flat, and it makes it look far away. Like it makes these trees back here look like they're further away than they are. Like it makes it look like these trees on the left is further than the ones in the middle, but they're actually the same at the same distance. But because of that shrinkage and that curving, that wrapping, it makes it look like it's far away, right? So that's what you get with all of these photos. Look here, you have the dock here, you have these trees here in the background curving like crazy. That's all it is. That's literally all that they're using with us. So say I get, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 feet high in the air, and we're looking at the earth, and we take a photo of it. It's got a bubble lens. Are you telling me that I can't see 1 kilometer ahead of me here when it's raining, yet all over the earth I can see a clear picture of what the ground looks like, right? It should be hazed out. It should be hazed out like this is hazed out. Like this moon is hazed out. Like what's going on down there? I can't see like a hard edge from one object to another. It's all hazy, just like in this photo. I can't make out the poles really. I can't even see the exit signs for the highway. So if I was in charge of making the earth, like making a photo of the earth, I would definitely have it so that it is hazy, like this image right here on the right, hazed out, not being able to distinguish between what's Africa, what's the ocean, what's India, where's the lakes, where's the rivers. But on here, we get to see all the lakes in the Great Lake region. We can see the clear split between like Saudi Arabia and Africa, and the Tigris River. You can see the Euphrates, the Jordan. You can see it all, and that is just, it's so unbelievable. And you know what this is? This is what you would call artistic ego. Okay, this is ego. This is artistic ego, where you know you shouldn't be seeing detail, but the artist just wants to show you the detail because they want to show you their level of artistry. They want to show, they're showing off is what they're doing, right? They're showing off. Now, I do believe that this is, it looks you know, it looks like it could be. This is more believable than a lot of other photos. Why? Because you have a lot of little clouds. Okay, a lot of little clouds. Because remember, if you're in New York, or you're in Texas, or you're in Saudi Arabia or Ontario or something, and you look up into the sky, you could sometimes count 20 clouds, right? And that's just your little itty bitty little township, right? Not even your province or your state, your little township, right? Your little town of Kenton, your little town of Newmarket, or town of Aurora, or something like that. You know what I mean? You're looking out from Toronto, and you could see maybe 20 clouds, maybe sometimes 30 clouds, maybe sometimes there's not a cloud in the sky. All right, but to have a Earth from space, like a satellite image of Earth from space, and I'm always typing in NASA because I believe that we can't really go to a fan rendering. We can't go to an at-home rendering. We have to use NASA's imagery just so that we can, because they're the ones with the money. They're the ones that tell us this bogus BS. So why can't we go to them to debunk them, right? So you're looking at this. I mean, this is obviously fake. I mean, look at the color of the. It's like a neon blue. We know that the ocean waters wouldn't be so blue, and they're more brown and grayish than anything. You have this fake ass hotspot. You have uh, America, North America being huge. That means South America has to wrap around this globe and end probably around here, right? And then where are you going to fit in Africa and China and Russia plus the whole Pacific? Like this is just ridiculous. And look how big these clouds get. Now this is what we would call overcast. But what we don't get in these photos are levels of clouds, right? There's different levels of clouds. There's the clouds that sometimes you think that you could reach up and just touch. And then there's clouds that are high up in the air that you can see, and then there's the clouds that you're only going above when you get into that plane and you're riding above the clouds, like when you're in a plane plane above the clouds. I love looking at these photos. I love taking these kinds of photos because it's so majestic looking and amazing, right? So here we'll pull up a photo of the plane above the clouds. Now, how much? Where do you think that this could be? It could be anywhere in the world, obviously, right? But where in the world do you think it could be to the point where you look down and you're seeing these vague, you look on the ground here, you're seeing these vague shadows, you're seeing the shadows of the clouds, and you might see like a pond or a lake or something like that. But look how many clouds there are here. And look at all the different levels of clouds, right? Like this is obviously the top level of the clouds, and there's some murky looking clouds below that. And you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, over 20, 30 clouds that we're seeing in this photo. And then we go to this Apollo, and it's like, where are all those little clouds? You know what I mean? And there's a lot of big clouds, and if you could see right down here, the Antarctic ice wall that they kind of it also wraps around, right? But they gave us a little bit to make it look like it's the South Pole, right? Well, if this ice wall is going around and around the whole plane, and it's enclosing us in on some level, then yeah, you're getting a lot of the clouds, a lot of the temperature change, a lot of the cold air meets the warm air, so you're getting a lot of storm clouds coming in. But then you look at it and it's like, well, where's all the like little dotted clouds? You know what I mean? Like, where's all the little last clouds? Where are the gray clouds? They all seem to be white. There's a tornado over here. There's a tornado approaching over here, and it's just way too much. It's way too big, and it's way too clear. Like, how come in all of these places that are brewing up storms and tornadoes and stuff like that, you're telling me that nowhere in Africa is raining? I thought the rains were down in Africa. You know what I mean? I bless the rains down in Africa. Africa has 2 seasons, a wet season and a dry season. And they're always showing us on World Vision the dry season with the flies on the face and all that stuff. So I'm just saying with all of this, with this whole first half of the stream, it's just dedicated to me saying that I think I would have, if I was an artist working for this, I would have hazed this whole thing out. And then people would have said, "Oh my God, like that's the Earth. That's what it looks like." And then maybe someone would have asked, "Well, what is Like, why can't we really see anything? You know, why can't we see any continents or whatever? That could just be taken from anywhere. It would actually be more believable if it was hazed out like this, because you would say to yourself, "Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense because when I drive or when I look out at the sky, yeah, I can barely see because uh there's a thing called vision. What is it called? Oh my god, I can't believe I'm forgetting this. Where you go, where it goes invisible, your vanishing point. God damn, I can't believe that. Vanishing point. There's a thing called vanishing point, and vanishing point states that even though there's things beyond the vanishing point, your eyes can't perceive them. Okay? So here, if you're standing, this is O for observer, and you're standing where O is, and you're looking, and your line of sight is getting wider. This wall here, this blue wall, that's your vanishing point. If you look to the side and to the sides of this wall, that's where your line of vision is going to stop. Okay? Now, the ground plane, this is the ground plane. It's funny how they say that. And these are parallel lines. Okay? So say train tracks. But to us, to the observer, these train track lines that are extending out on the plane are going to look like a triangle arch to us. Okay? That's what it's going to, even though it really is all parallel, and we know that it's parallel, we're the observer and we're looking out, and we can't see past this vanishing point. We're looking out, and what happens to these parallel lines is that they come together. They appear to come together to our vanishing point. But as soon as we take 10 steps forward, that vanishing point moves 10 steps back because it's always moving with us. It's like tomorrow. Oh my God, you guys can't see this. Here, I'm going to have to explain that whole thing again. So here we go. I'm going to explain the whole thing again, guys. O is observer. O is for the observer. And when you are looking out, you see this wall here. This wall represents the image plane. Okay, this is your sky, your buildings. This is what that blue shield looking thing is. Now this point, this triangle at the top, that's your vanishing point. Now this ground plane, and it's funny that they call it a ground plane, but this ground plane that we're looking at, this rectangle, this gray rectangle, that is where the ground is. So these parallel lines, that is where the train tracks would be, okay? Or your billboards, or the road would be, okay? This is the road, this is the train tracks. But to us, the observer, when we're looking out, go to the O, look at the O, and see how the dotted lines are shooting out of our eyes. That's our vision. That's looking out. It's looking out in a tent-like fashion, and it's spreading out. And this is the image plane. It's creating the image plane. That's everything that you can see. That represents the sky, that represents the horizon, and that represents these train tracks here. Let's just pretend that these are train tracks. Now we know that beyond this image plane, beyond the vanishing point, we have the ground. And we know that the parallel lines of the train tracks, they're going to extend for another 50 kilometers. And we know that they'll never touch. But because the way our eyes look and perspective is, we are going to see these parallel lines converge together. Okay? The vanishing point is not the convergence point. But it looks like it's converging, but we know it's not. We know the train tracks, if we move 10 steps forward, then those train tracks are going to move 10 steps back, the vanishing point. We'll never see these two parallel lines come together, okay? We got that. And that's why I wanted to keep this in mind when we were looking at this, okay? So we're seeing what I just showed here. We're seeing these two parallel lines of the road, and we're not seeing them touch. We know that they don't touch, but way back here, where it's converging, we know that once we get there, the road is going to be wide again. And then we know that when we get here on the road, we know that we're going to be able to see another kilometer ahead of us, right? But our eyes don't go forever. We can't see forever. We can only see a limited amount of distance. And the thing about that, y'all, is that means vanishing point is always changing. Our vanishing point is always changing, okay? Today, on this hazy day, my vanishing point was a kilometer away. When it was really, really raining, really heavy, my vanishing point was 50 feet away, 25 feet away, okay? That was my vanishing point for that day. So when we wake up and we look at the humidity level, we see the atmospheric distortion levels on some of our news, our meteorologist news, our weather news. We see that it's going to be hazy. We see that it's going to be a clear day, right? And that is going to greatly affect how far you can see. Like that whole Chicago skyline from, I don't even know, Michigan, was it, or something like that? Like, I can't remember. Yeah, this is it right here. Chicago skyline from Michigan or whatever. Now I can see. We all could see. Now they played this off as like it was like a mirage, and that's just so BS. But this was on a very, very clear day. Okay, this was on a day where you don't get any of this haze and fog, right? So the vanishing point on a day like today, when we were looking at the mirage of the Chicago skyline, we know that that was a very clear day, very little atmospheric distortion, very little humidity, okay? It was a very temperate day. It wasn't too hot because we're not getting a lot of atmospheric like distortion from the evaporation of the water, so it's not distorting us that way. And look at all of these different photos of the skyline. It's not just that one time. That meteorologist that had to lie to us. He was acting like, oh, it was just that one time and it was just that one mirage. No, this is continuously happening, right? Can you see Chicago from Michigan? Michigan from Chicago. It's just it's always present. Look at that. Look at that. That's amazing, right? The Earth is flat, but we can't see forever. That is why at some point we are going to need telescopes and long range cameras, binoculars, in order to see this. Guys, if the Earth was a ball, then a periscope wouldn't work, because the periscope is looking for warships and like cruise liners, coasts, anything that they could see that's going to help them in war, right? So why would you develop that if you can't see? If the Earth is just going to curve. So if we look here, this vanishing point can move closer or further away depending on how clear the day is. How clear is the sky on that particular day? Is it a rainy day? Is it a hazy, foggy day? If so, this vanishing point is going to move closer to us. If it's a crystal clear day, then this vanishing point is going to move further away down these parallel lines, and you're going to be able to see more of the train track than you had before, than you've previously seen, right? We look at this train track right here. We see this train track. We know that on a really foggy day like this day, if this day was happening on this train track, then we wouldn't be able to see past this track. Right around here, halfway up the track. But on a super clear day like today, we can see all the way down the tracks until we get to a level change. And that means like this here, y'all. You're seeing the ground, and then you see it takes a little bit of a dip right here, and then the road drastically cuts in, right? And it's like a step pyramid at this point. It's like the first step is right here, and then there's a level, and then there's another step, and then down here there's another step, and it gradually goes in and in and in. Now, if this was a completely flat road, we wouldn't get these steps. But now, I want to let you guys know that this is why things disappear from the bottom up. Because even a slight ground change, a level change, just as slight as this isn't a really big drop, guys. Like, I'm seeing the truck ahead of me. That truck is going to come forward, and it's going to go over like a little bit of a hill, and then it's going to be on my plane right here, right? Now, this little insignificant drop makes it look like a huge level down when we're looking at it from this perspective, right? Because everything now has to stack behind each other, right? It's not a smooth line anymore. It's like a level, step down, step down, step down, right? So this is why. So if this truck was to come a little bit more closer, then I would not see its tires. And then its bottom grill is going to be hidden from me. And then its lights are going to be hidden from me. And then it's going to come up, and then from the bottom down, I'm going to start, from the top down, I'm going to start seeing the truck again. So do you see how when we're looking out, at the Chicago skyline, or any skyline, right? Chicago from Michigan, skyline, whatever. Spelling it wrong, but it'll correct me. Images. Okay, now when we're looking out at the water, across the water, and they say, oh, well, things are disappearing from the bottom up, that means that it's going over the curve. Once we can't see the city ground anymore, we can't see the people walking. Like, globe earthers really must be a special kind of stupid, you know what I mean? Because they're not thinking critically, but that's okay. That's okay. We're here for them. We got patience, okay? Now, they're going to say it's disappearing from the bottom up. And that's how we know it's going over the curve. The ship that's sailing away is disappearing from the bottom up. No, it's because there are waves in the water, just like this road. This road is not a flat road. It's a wavy road, right? So you would liken this to the waves in the water. There's different level heights in the water. Right? And as you go over one bump and down and back up over another bump and back down and back up over another bump, it's gonna cut off the tires. Look at this here. Look at this. This drop here this drop right here, it's not a crazy drop, because what happens is you go over that road, and then there's like another flat bit, and then you go down again, and there's another flat bit, and it goes down again. So there's different like step levels. It's not just one big drop, but it looks like one big drop because the closest level change, the road right here, it's blocking out all of the detail. It's blocking all of the detail of the different level drops. So if I might be able to draw this out for you guys. So let me switch this scene right here so I can be close to y'all. Okay, let me open this up right here. Okay. I'm going to draw an observer, human being, at the beach. And we're going to see different waves. Hold on, bear with me. We're going to draw waves. And then on the other side of the waves, I'm going to draw buildings and structures. Okay, so hope you guys can see this. Okay, here we have the observer. And I will draw O for observer. and the S for the skyline. Now, out of the observer, we're going to draw some dotted lines, okay? Okay, these dotted lines represent the sight, you know, the line of sight. The observer is looking out this way. This is the O I drew for the observer. Now, we have a lot of waves here, okay? A lot of waves, going and going until you hit the skyline of whatever city we're looking at. It could be Chicago, Toronto, New York, whatever. This is the skyline, this is the building. Now, people are going to say, well, as we're looking at the skyline from a distance, we notice that it disappears from the bottom up, okay? It disappears from the bottom up. And because we can only see halfway up the buildings, that must mean that the earth is round and it's going over a curve. But that's not what's happening, guys. That's not what's happening. What's happening is we are observing, and the biggest thing in our view is this first wave. The second biggest thing is the second wave. And then the third, fourth, fifth wave, they're getting smaller and smaller to us. Okay? So if I draw a street like light post and another one and another one, and I save mail, you know what I mean? I'm drawing on a piece of mail here, because honestly I don't open my mail unless it's important. And even if it is important, depending on the nature, I just ignore it anyway. Fuck them damn bill collectors. They suck my dick. Alright, y'all. You see this? We know, like for a fact, okay, these are the street lights, and this is the road going back to our vanishing point, right? Now we know that this street light right here, this lamppost, is not actually bigger than this lamppost over here. Because you know what's going to happen is we're going to drive up the road, and this lamppost in the back, this street light here, is now going to be as big as this lamppost is going to be. So the distance dictates the size, right? So if I have a road, and I got to break this down to you guys, because I don't want to circle back to this in future debates, and you guys will be able to use this in future debates. Okay? So if we're going down a road, okay, we got a road here, guys. See this road? It's an uneven road. There's sidewalks on the side of the road. I try to draw sidewalks coming in, right? Let's draw some lampposts. 1 lamppost, 2 lampposts, 3 lampposts. Okay. We got the lampposts here, guys. We got the biggest lamppost right in the foreground, okay? We got the street with the sidewalks on the side, and it's tapering to the vanishing point, which is somewhere in the back here. Now see how we can see the road in the distance, but because there's level changes in the road, where it's blocking out some detail. It's blocking out the detail of down here, right? So what this road would look like at a side view is like this. This is what the road would look like on the side view. You have the road, and it kind of gradually dips and then goes straight again and dips, and then maybe comes back up again and dips down. But because our line of sight is making a straight line, it's hiding this detail here, right? See these dips? Our our line of sight can't go over and peek down below, right? So of course you're going to be missing some information as the road dips. So we have here the road dipping down, extending and dipping and extending and dipping. And that is why, let me bring this up over here again. That is exactly why when we look at this road, we're seeing those dips, right? We're seeing how we can't see past the dips. And that's why when you look at the Chicago skyline or water, we're seeing the biggest waves in front of us. And the waves, the little waves and the ripples are actually blocking out. It's blocking out our vision of their streets and their sidewalks, right? And their cars and stuff like that. And that's why it's disappearing from the bottom up, because we are seeing the bigger waves in front of the little waves. See how my hand is for you guys, right? Now, my hands are at like the same height, right? But you guys are seeing my big hand first, especially if it's like waving up and down, right? Like the water. You're seeing the hand that's in front. I called it my big hand, but both hands are the same size. But I just move one back and it starts to get smaller until it's disappearing over these waves, right? But you turn it, right? So now you can't even see my face. But if you got up real close to me here, you would be able to see my face. But you go far back, and whatever's the closest in front of you, that's gonna take precedence, and that's what's going to block out the bottom of the crafts. So say I'm like here, I'm like coming up, and I'm like a ship, and my chin is a ship, and my chin is on the water. Then I go back, my chin is still on the water, right? But then I go back, and now my lips are being blocked out. And I keep on going forward, and now my nose is being blocked out, and now my eyes are being blocked out. You know what I mean? From the bottom up, because that's just the way things happen. It gets bigger as it comes towards you, and smaller and lower as it goes away, right? Because the height of these poles are the same. They're the same height. They're each 25 feet, right? But look what happens as it gets smaller. It also gets lower. It appears to get lower. And also the bottom raises up too, right? So as it's getting smaller, it's going into the center. So it's like this. Okay? You got all of these squares are the same size, but as you drive through them, it's like the small little guy is expanding bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And so even though you know it's all the same size, as you're going back, as you're traveling the road, and the vanishing point leads you to a small little point. Let me switch the screen. You know that these squares are the same size, but as it goes back down the road, right, through the vanishing point, that they're going to appear smaller. But the bottom of the square is also going to move up, while the top of the square moves down. So that's why things get hidden behind waves and other atmospheric distortions. Okay, it's because as they get smaller, they go to the center, and so that whatever's in front of it is going to take precedence over it, even though that they're the same level. Even though you have the beach and the ocean at the same level, the ocean is going to overtake the beach. Okay, until you move back and you realize it's actually the same level. But you put that ocean in front of you, and look what happens now. The beach is gone, my face is gone, the buildings are gone, and that's just the way perspective looks. And now look, I come further back, and now suddenly this hand, the beach, is higher, right? I'm gonna move it around this mic. Same level, same level. Move it forward, and it's gonna block it out. So that is just one little. I'm gonna get a whiteboard, and I'm gonna be drawing. I'm gonna be drawing this for you guys on the whiteboard because I believe that will be very beneficial. So that's what we're saying on that. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that little that wraps up the first little bit. Now the last little bit I am going to be discussing. We are going to be shifting gears. Let me get to the chat. Let me see who's in the chat and what's been popping off. Thank you guys for supporting the show. You know, it's not easy to kind of wake up and do all this, and but you know, I just feel like I gotta get it out there. You know, I feel like it's like I'm not the only one that's thinking like this. You guys are thinking like this as well, right? So I just want to get back to the chat for a second. Yeah, the space junk. Where's all the space junk? Denial. Missed you too, man. Peace and love. Yeah, it's been a long time. New perspective. Infamous style. Salute. What's going on? Everybody in the chat. Peace and love. Yeah, CGI. Peabody. If the sun and moon and stars are thousands of miles away, why can't we see them? Why can we see them? I'm guessing they're a lot closer than we think. Yes, they are. They're just holographic projections. Why can't we see the sun and moon and stars if they're thousands of miles away? Yes, I get the vanishing point thing. Okay. How far can our eyes see? Our eyes can see depending on the day, right? Depending on the day, it can be, we can see way into the future and way into the distance, and sometimes we can't see 5 feet in front of us because of the haze, right? So, and I wonder, like, on the clearest possible day, what is the furthest we can see? Obviously, no matter where the moon is, we can obviously see further than the moon because, well, we can see the moon clearly. So, if you move something beyond the moon, then we'd probably still be able to make it out and be like, oh, damn, like, oh, yeah, there's something there behind the moon. I wonder what it is, kind of thing, you know what I mean? Crazy, 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 y'all. Man, that's just like, it's so beautiful, man. Let's give ourselves a round of applause, man. Let's cheer for ourselves. Because we are seeing through the veil. And this is what the ancients meant by, you know, the peeking through the veil. The veil isn't this like physical thing. The veil is the lies, right? The veil is the perspective that they gave us, and now we are peeking through that, which is really amazing. Hold on. Why were all these messages deleted? Why were all these messages deleted? I don't like that. We don't need to. By that way's messages are getting all deleted. Guys, we don't need to do that. MJ Givens, we don't need to do that. He's asking good stuff. MJ Givens, hold on. We don't gotta be doing that. Oh, you dropped my phone and caught it. Okay. All right, that's cool, y'all. That way, there was not intentional. It was a not intentional deleting of your messages. MJ Givens, phone dropped. All right. It's all love here, guys. It's all peace and love. All right. So, let me shift gears. Y'all know what I got to shift gears to. Y'all already know. Because I got to get you up to date with what's been going on in the other world, the other world, okay? So let me open up a new tab, a new window, in fact, and let me read some things to you guys, okay? Oh my God. So, let me read some things to you guys that I got on my phone here because we are switching gears. We're switching topics. First of all, I want to let you guys know that the London mayor, I don't know if this is London, Ontario or London, England. I think it's London, England. Yeah, it's London, England. Yeah, it's London, England because they showed um their Big Ben statue in the article, so you know it's got to be England. Okay, so let me show you. Let me screen share with you guys. Window capture. Let me just put it on to Veg News. Boom, and please forgive me. Chat GPT has distorted my shit. Last week, on last week's stream, if you missed it, I started asking Chat GPT about flat Earth and all these questions. And it was a classic show. It was a classic show. It was, oh my god, it was classic in the sense of like the answers that it gave were totally like there was so many holes in their answer, and oh, it was crazy. Go back and watch that screen. Anyways, after the stream, yo, we 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 blew up Chat GPT, and now I'm logging into my shit, and all my shit is like crazy. It's not loading. It's like different languages. It looks like it's something out of the Matrix. It's just weird as hell, God. It's weird as hell, guys. So I'm gonna leave this up and open for you guys, and I'm gonna read off some veg news. Um, the London, England. Will London move towards veganism? Will London move towards veganism? Guys, this is the direction that our Earth is going, okay? Polanski went on to suggest that Khan works with ProVeg UK, an organization that promotes plant-based eating, on his free school meals funding commitment. He pointed out that its school plates initiative is already delivering free menu support services to more than 500,000 UK schools. This, he added, plays a part in reducing environmental impacts, improving child health, and saving money. I think the environmental impacts and saving money are at the top of their priority list, and the child health are at the bottom. 1,000%. He also suggests Khan signs the plant-based treaty, following the footsteps of the UK cities like Edinburgh, which is in Scotland, and Norwich. The treaty is an initiative aiming to address environmental issues caused by animal agriculture and support a shift to more plant-based diets. Cities that endorse it may take a variety of steps to do this, including building no new animal farms and introducing vegan meals in schools. Polanski said that signing the treaty would be a sound basis for progressing this conversation based on up-to-date data and research as it pertains to London. Now, this is crazy, guys, because I have some other news I want to share with you. The environmental costs of animal agriculture. Studies have found that such a limit would be, like limiting animal agriculture, such a limit would be impossible with our current food system, even if we eliminated all fossil fuels immediately. Animal agriculture is a leading cause of global greenhouse gas emissions, responsible for at least 14.5% of the world's output. Now, when they say this in terms of, oh, the Earth is warming up and we got to stop global warming, I think that's bullshit, because I don't think that we are causing the Earth to heat up. I think that the Earth is naturally I think that they devastated the Earth, and that they threw up some shit into the atmosphere, and it created like a nuclear winter. And I think that these winters are now man-made, right? Because I think that they get a lot of benefits from having a winter. They can do a lot of things under the guise of winter. A lot of people die in the wintertime. A lot of homeless people die in the wintertime, right? So I feel like they can blame a lot of things on winter. A lot of deaths on winter. A lot of when you're talking about like warfare, and you're talking about strategy, and you're talking about the winter's approaching and it's war, like that. I think that they can boost up prices for a lot of things like gas and hydro. You know, you want to crank your heat. I think that they can include things like warm seats, like to boost up their car prices. I think that they can blame a lot of freight delays on winter. There's a lot of complexities that happen once you introduce winter. Because in the summertime, when things are nice and sunny and warm, and you're out in a t-shirt until late, people get really happy. Depression, a lot of depression in the winter. Okay, they have a Monday called like Blue Monday or something, where like the most suicides take place every year on this particular week. This particular week from like after Christmas or whatever. Um, there's a lot of happiness in the summertime, and when there's a lot of constant happiness, uh, a lot of people start coming together, creating initiatives. They start creating camps. There's a lot of gatherings in the park, a lot of food giveaways and charities, and homeless people they're not dying and they're happy. There's a lot of camaraderie that happens in the summertime. So I'm just saying that there's a lot to be gained from having winters. And I think that there was a type of nuclear winter that the elites know about, and they were like, oh shit, like this is working to our benefit. Let's keep a winter going. Let's keep winter going for these first world nations like England, like Canada and America. Once most of America gets some sort of a winter, some sort of a cold point. Even in Miami, people in Miami, they say, once the weather starts getting chilly, I bounce to Mexico or some shit. I'm like, chilly in Florida? Like in Toronto, it goes to like negative 20 degrees. You know what I mean? Like negative 30 sometimes. So anything in Miami is better than a Canadian winter, that's for sure. And I live in the warmest part of Canada, so I should know. So this is a crazy article to read, because let me pull this up for you guys. Um, so getting back to what I was saying is that I don't think that the greenhouse gases or whatever going off into the atmosphere I don't think it's warming up the earth. I think that the earth is just coming back to its tropical natural state, but they get to blame the global warming on these greenhouse gases and things like this. And once you opened up the global warming and environmental shit, you're opening up a can of worms, because now you're opening up. Thank you, bro. Yeah, hit the like button and share, please. Because once you open up the environmental discussion, you're now opening up grounds for where is the most emissions coming from? What is really causing the most impact? And that's where you get this animal husbandry coming from. Now let me show you guys this article. Okay. Get this, guys. Yo, I am so excited about this, y'all. It's crazy, yo. Yo, when I read this, because, okay, I used to work construction, like the shitty type of construction where you're, like, hammer and nails and drywall and, oh, my God, framing and painting and cutting and, oh, my God, using the quick cut and cutting the concrete. It's just bullshit. And I hate construction because everything is heavy. Go get the hammer. Oh, it's a heavy hammer. Go get the quick cut. It's like a saw that you hold. Oh my God, I gotta pick up this shit. And by the end of your shift, 3-4 o'clock comes around, it's just like, God, you're wearing these steel-toed boots, and it's just like you're just dragging your feet. You gotta pick up these scaffolding, and it's just like, oh my God, man, everything is heavy. That's why fuck. And I'm stronger than most. I'm stronger than most people I work with, because I'm vegan, right? And all the strongest things in the world are vegan, right? Elephants, rhinoceros, hippos, gorillas. So yo, so I was doing fine. I'm just saying that, like, god damn, it's like heavy. But I was doing this kind of construction where it was like earth moving construction, right? So like terraforming, like a new development, a new neighborhood plus a mall and a hospital have to go up. I'm the one out there. We're cutting into the earth with the scrapers. We're dumping the earth. There's a packer that's coming behind us, packing the earth solid. Um, and the dozers and all that stuff. So I'm working in machines that are as big as my apartment, right? You know what I mean? Tires that are taller, that are 2 times the size of me. You know what I mean? And when those tires pop, it sounds like the loudest gun. It sounds like a bomb goes off. Boom! Right in the distance. Boom! You look, you see, boom, like a scraper just on its side. Like, yo, these wheels are nothing to play with, yo. Okay, so when I read this article, I was so happy. And the reason why I started talking about construction was because at lunch, you know, you got all these macho guys. You're eating rabbit food and all this stuff. Yeah, while your arteries are clogging up, and while you're getting a triple bypass surgery, no offense, but while you're having like all these like erectile deficiencies and these erectile problems, and oh yeah, I had to see the nurse, and now I'm on these pills and that pills. Yeah, while you're doing all of that, guess what? I'm friggin' problem free. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna close this. Yeah, because everything is crazy right now. Yeah, so it's just so funny how like these quote unquote macho men who don't kill their own meat, who wouldn't kill their own deer, is like, you know, they're making fun of you. Anyways, we're on break, and I used to just pack a head of romaine lettuce and some salad dressing, right? I would have like an apple, a pear. I'd have like a peanut butter sandwich and all that stuff. But for one of my lunches, like I would come out and I'd have a head of romaine lettuce, and I would just squirt salad dressing on that bitch, just like it's like a shawarma or falafel or burrito or some shit, and I just eat the lettuce like that, right down to the very last bits. And since the salad dressing is like falling, the very last bits are like really tasty, right? So I'm eating that. And if you guys haven't done that, if you haven't tried that, definitely try it, yo. It's so good. So I'm out there with my lettuce, with my rabbit food and whatever, right? And they're like making fun of me while their arteries are clogging up and they're going to see the doctor. They're making fun of me. And I'm like, you know what? It's not going to be long until vegan vegan food is like a law. Until it's not going to be long until they ban meat consumption. And I was taking a little, like, I was having like a little guessing game. I was like, what do you guys think is going to be the first to go? Like, what country do you think is going to ban what first? Fish? Are they going to ban chicken? Are they going to ban cows because of the high output of the gases? Like, what do you guys think? And then they were laughing. Oh, no country will ever ban meat. It'll never be banned. Oh, that's just crazy. Almost what? 8 years later, I get a update of my article, and look at this, y'all. Can you read that? Can you read this? Dutch city becomes first to ban meat adverts in public. Yeah, that's right. I'll say it again. Dutch city becomes world's first to ban meat adverts in public. Now, when I got this, you better fucking believe that I sent those dudes that I work with that were laughing when I said that. You better believe I sent them that article. Hell yeah, bitch. I sent them that article with, like, I was smiling my ass off ear to ear. I'm like, yo, read this. A Dutch city will become the first in the world to ban meat adverts from public spaces in an effort to reduce consumption and greenhouse gas emission. Now, get this. Once you ban, you gotta understand that even like companies that don't need to that don't need to advertise, like Nike, Bell Mobility, Adidas, they spend millions, if not billions, sometimes on advertising every single year. Because advertising really works. Okay, it doesn't matter how many people that you have buying your shit. They always want to grow in this capitalistic society. They always want to grow, knockout competition, and they want everyone in the world consuming their stuff, using their products, wearing their clothes, all of that, right? So advertising is huge. And a couple of streams ago, I think it was like 3 streams ago, I told you guys how the more scared and sad you are, the more advertisings work. So if you can put up like war images and war on the TV and in the news and self insecurity things like, these beautiful looking women and jacked guys wearing their underwear with their perfect bodies that's been photoshopped. You're putting self conscious, you're putting fear, sadness into your citizens. And then you're seeing meat advertisements, burgers, get a burger, get a steak, bacon, and all that shit. So it's going deeper into our subconscious, and it's making us buy more. So once you remove adverts out of the picture completely, then a lot of the habits or the forced habits or the brainwashing goes away. So what I'm saying is, if you get rid of if you have a country that loves Puma, okay, we're talking about like say Spain, okay, they love Puma. If you cut the advertising in half, then their revenue is gonna cut in half. They're not gonna buy as much because it's not always in their face. If you cut it out completely, then you're gonna have those people that still hang on to Puma. They're still gonna see it. They're still gonna like it, but it's not gonna be nearly as much as what it had. It's not like you're gonna have record-breaking quarters. So once you take out the meat advertising of a country, guess what's gonna happen? You're like gonna just naturally, you're gonna see lettuce on the ground. You're gonna see apples in the store. You're gonna buy those, and you're gonna, oh yeah, there was a time where I used to eat meat. I used to see these commercials about burgers, and I haven't had a burger in a long time, right? So that's what's gonna be happening, and they're only the first. And I called it. Got some pumpkin seeds here. Got to get the zinc, magnesium, protein, fats. Guys, pumpkin seeds are great for helping to eliminate parasites. Just know that. But not the eggs. Okay. So I call this, whenever I was talking to people, I said, the world is gonna ban meat one day. It's just like who's gonna go first? And I was asking people, who do you think would go first if they tried to ban eating meat? The importation of meat. They have to close down all of the animal factories and whatever. And I said to myself, you know what? It can only be like one of 3 things. Either A, it's a dictatorship like North Korea, and the dictator says, you know what? We're not eating this because it's making my people sick. It's costing too much. The greenhouse gases, the antibiotics, all this stuff. We are not doing it anymore. And then suddenly, all of the citizens have no choice but to listen. There's no riot because in North Korea they can literally like shoot you in the street, or they could beat you up. They could put you in jail. So it's got to be either a country that has a dictator that the citizens are going to listen, or they're going to be killed, 1, or jailed. Number 2, it's got to be a small country where you don't have a lot of pushback, like North Korea, and where it's like where the president makes the decision. It's such a small population that the people are like, yeah, okay, like say Bermuda, the island, or say like St. Vincent or something with a super small population, and the president says there's no more importation of meat, and you're not allowed to like repopulate your animal farms or whatever. That's number 2. A low population country. Number 3 is a very forward thinking country, like in the Netherlands, where they ride bikes predominantly, like 60 to 80% of people ride bikes to work. The Netherlands, where they they legalized marijuana before a lot of other places in the world, because of the effects that it had, the positive effects it has. So I said it was either like a brutal dictatorship that's going to make everybody stop eating meat. It's going to be a country with such a small population where they're not going to riot. They're not, it's not going to be much resistance or pushback. Like, imagine doing that in India, where you have over 1 billion people, and you say no more cheese, no more meat or anything like that. You're gonna have like a riot on your hands with like 1 billion people strong. Or C, I said it was gonna be a very forward-thinking country like Switzerland or something like that. And lo and behold, it's a forward-thinking country. It says adverts will not be allowed in Haarlem. Haarlem is a township, I believe, or a city. Haarlem, which lies to the west of Amsterdam. And remember, Amsterdam has had legal weed for a long time. We used to fly from all over the world to go to Amsterdam to smoke weed, right? And they have all the canals, and it's just a beautiful city. If you haven't been, I highly recommend it. Haarlem, which lies to the west of Amsterdam, has a population of about 160,000. Will enact a prohibition from 2024 after meat was added to a list of products deemed to contribute to climate crisis. Adverts will not be allowed on Haarlem's buses, shelters, and screens in public spaces, prompting complaints from the meat sector that the municipality is going too far in telling people what's best for them. What? Okay, so if we ban cigarette advertisements, are you going to have a bunch of people coming out and say, hey, you can't tell us what's good for us or not. You're going too far now. Well, think about the kids, right? But because they're going from a greenhouse perspective and they're not going from a health perspective, you're going to have a lot of backlash like this. Recent studies suggest global food production is responsible for 1/3 of all planet heating emissions, with the use of animals for meat accounting for twice the pollution of producing plant-based food. Obviously, because you're producing plant-based food while you're feeding the animals. Like, oh my god, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone sometimes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do. If you have cows, chicken, even fucking fish, pigs, they have to eat, and animals consistently eat more than human beings. Like, humans have the choice to fast. We skip breakfast. We have such busy days. We skip a lunch. You know what I mean? We're not eating that much. Not as much as animals. You have to raise cows. Do you know how much food that is, motherfucker? You have to grow food regardless. Then you put cows on top of that, which fart and burp and shit all of these gases out. Plus the fact that they drink so much water. And then plus the fact that, you got to have pesticides and herbicides, larvicides, fungicides for the crops that you're about to feed to a cow. So of course the emissions is crazy with animal husbandry. Forests that absorb carbon dioxide are felled for the grazing of animals, which means they're cut down, for the grazing of animals, while fertilizers used for growing their feed are rich in nitrogen, which can contribute to air and water pollution, climate change, and ozone depletion. Livestock also produce large quantities of methane, a powerful greenhouse gas. Okay? So, I'm loving this. Haarlem, which is a town, was it? A city? Haarlem, which let's just call it a town, because it's 160,000. It's not yet a city. I think a city needs 1 million people to be a city. Or is that a metropolis? Maybe a metropolis is a... Yeah, I think it's 100,000 for a city and 1 million for a metropolis. But look, either way, y'all. Either way, praise is due. All praise is due. Because now what's going to happen? See how the meat organization was like... They're like, oh, well, you can't ban the advertising. What are we going to do? Because they know that they're about to experience a lower income. Okay, making history. We're moving on, switching gears. Making history. Vegan Woman Summit. Now it's there's a vegan woman summit because women need their space and everything. It's a vegan woman of veganism. To serve cell-based beef. Okay? What is cell-based beef? Cell-based beef is cultured meat. Cell-based meat is created with animal cells in industrial bioreactors, meaning it isn't a product of animal slaughter. Okay? So you take a sample of one cow, preferably like the most beautiful cow that they have right now, with the best genetics and all that stuff. You extract a little bit of their DNA with a needle, I guess, and you culture it in a petri dish, and it grows and grows and grows. It isn't considered to be vegan because it's obviously flesh. However, as it is real, and because it is real animal tissue, but the production process also requires cells to be taken from an animal. Though this can supposedly be done with a painless process, they always tell us that it's painless when it comes to animals because they always tell us that animals can't feel, which is bullshit, which is why they run away. See, I don't eat anything that runs away from me. And then a dude said, well, don't you eat pussy? I'm like, yeah, because the woman don't run away from me. What the fuck? They don't run away from me. I talk to them. They're like, oh, what's going on? It's easy to pull a girl. Like, you know what I mean? I just, you got to know how to talk to them. You got to know how to finesse it. You know, you got to ask questions about them. So, I don't eat anything that runs away from me. If I touch something and it starts swimming away, or if I like go after something aggressively and it runs away, guess what? That's nature's way of saying you're not supposed to eat this. Okay, so at present, cell-based meat is only available to buy in Singapore, and it hasn't yet received full FDA approval in United States. Let's keep that going. This could change very soon, though, however. Boo. Two cell-based meat companies, Upside Foods and Good Meat, have received no questions letters from the U.S. No questions letters. This means that their products have been ruled as safe to eat, and they just need to obtain a grant of inspection from the U.S. Department of Agriculture to start trading. Anyone hoping to find out more about the cell-based and plant-based meat industries can purchase a ticket to the Vegan Woman Summit here. The event is open to all genders. Oh my God. Of course it is. And it will feature a number of expert speakers and panelists within the plant-based movement. But yet it's still not considered plant-based. It's weird. They say, we are thrilled to bring the Vegan Woman Summit back, bigger and better than... I never even heard of it. What do you mean bring it back? More than half of our attendants are actually not vegan, which I think is a huge win. In fact, our mission, because they think it's a huge win, because they want to get people that aren't vegan out to the summit to help open and change their minds. You know what I mean? I could rock with that. More than half our attendees aren't vegan, which is a huge win. In fact, our mission at VWS Vegan Women Summit is to showcase not only the lifestyle opportunities, but the incredible business cases for the vegan food, fashion, and beauty industries. Why? Because you're no longer testing and using animal products on animals. A lot of times cologne needs like whale vomit. A lot of cosmetics need like whale fat, like a lot of lipsticks and concealers need like fats from the whales, and it's just crazy. It's disgusting, it's sick, it's gross, it's definitely not necessary. So I don't know why it's taking this long, right? So anyways, that was this cell-based meat. How about y'all? Leave in the comment below, comment on this video. Are you going to be eating cell-based meat? Meat that is cultured from a couple cells from an animal and grown in a lab grown meat. Are you guys down with that? Let me know in the chat. Don't just put it in the live chat. Put it in the actual comments below and let me know. Okay? How do you get children to eat their vegetables? They say, try these 9 tips. And they start off with saying, why do my kids need vegetables? And it's like, if you have to answer that, it's like, come on, like, should you even be a parent? Be healthy and stealthy. Hiding greens into everything, into shakes, they say. You can hide it into yogurts. You can hide it into soup. There's so many ways that you can hide moringa powder into the muffins and into the cupcakes and the banana bread. Okay? So that's one way. Let me just share the screen so that I'm not being a dick. Here you go. Okay, get colorful and creative. Okay? Beetroots. Help make things look red. You can put a little bit of beets in your waffles. You have red or pink waffles. You can put them in the hummus to make pink hummus. Purple smoothie. You can put red cabbage in there. You can put spinach into your kids' pancakes and have green pancakes, or green vegan eggs and vegan ham. You know what I mean? You can do a lot of stuff. Set the examples. Don't just give them the crappy. Don't just give them the food while you're eating crappy. Give them the hummus with the carrot sticks, and then you have your own carrot sticks with hummus too. If you're giving them a salad with minimal dressing on it, you have it too, right? It's just like reading. If you're gonna want your kid to read, you gotta read. You gotta be reading in front of your kid. Show them that it's fun, it's engaging. Because if you say, "Oh, well, reading is fun, Billy," well, then how come I never see you reading? You know what I mean? You gotta set the example. Dip it. They say anything can be a hummus. It can be a nut butters, vegan, salad dressing, salsa. What is that? Guacamole. Dips are great. You get some chips. It could be corn chips, potato chips, cassava chips, taro root chips, sweet potato chips, plantain chips, and you can dip it in hummus. And you know what? You can make your own hummus. You can sprout chickpeas, grind them up. You can do the beans, grind them up. You can do broccoli in there with the beans. You can do cauliflowers with the sweet potato and make a dip like that. Anything could be a dip. Ask your kids to choose the recipe. Getting your kids, a lot of times what you want to do is you don't want your kids to just pick anything under the sun. You want to give them an option of 2 things. Okay, like you want to say, do you want a hummus with chickpeas, or do you want a hummus with broccoli and beans? And then that way it makes them feel like they have a choice, like they are deciding their own fate, and they say, I want this one. And then you say, okay, great, that's fine. And both of the options were healthy, right? It's a way to trick children into like feeling like they have control. Go shopping together. Yeah, bring your kids to the grocery store and let them know. Look at the nutritional labels with them. Let them know that the sugar is bad for them, and that it's going to cause their teeth cavities. And let them know that this bread is better than that bread. The whole grain bread is better than the white bread, even though I don't recommend bread to children. We're fucked. We grew up with bread. We're fucked, okay? Our lives is just like, it's just on a maintenance course. It's like on a damage control course. We give up on yourself. If you have kids, you know what I mean? Put all your energy into the kids, all of the thought into the kids. That's what I think. I don't let my kid have bread. Of course, there's these times where they're gonna have pizza and whatever, at the birthday party, and it's vegan or whatever. But talking about like on a daily basis for lunch and stuff, or when they get home from school, 0 bread, no bread, no bread at all. No, you're not having bread. Okay, you're not having bread. Grow your own stuff. Kids these days don't even know that. Look at my computer, y'all. It's just crazy. After the whole Chat GPT thing, it's crazy. But yeah, what I was saying was, Jesus, yeah, no bread. I don't feed no bread to the kids, because it slows you down too much. It creates too much mucus. It scratches the inner lining of your intestines. It raises the histamines. It puts your hormones way out of whack. It's just not a great thing. Now, number 7, grow your own. These days kids don't even know that like apples come from a tree or that cherries come from a tree. They think it literally comes from a grocery store. Like they think that the grocery stores make the apples. How fucked up is that? Like it's a bag of chips. They think that an apple is like a chocolate bar. Like it was made in a factory. And I'm shit you not. A lot of kids think that when they go get a banana, it was made in the back of the grocery store. It's just absolute nuts. It's crazy. Talk about being disconnected from nature. So grow your own. It doesn't take much. You could get like a little herb light, right? And they come with these starter herbs, and you put the seeds in and you soak them and you fill up the water chamber and you turn on the light and it's on its own cycle. And right there on the counter, I have one, I'm looking at one. Right there on the counter, you could be growing your own herbs, right? And then your child could see that the herbs are growing. You cut it back, you put it into the pasta, you cut some, you put it into your meal. And that way they're saying, oh yeah, damn, like it was a seed, it sprouted, and now we're consuming it, right? So grow your own. Bribes bring bad vibes, is what they say. So try not to bribe. If you eat this hummus, then you can have the ice cream. If you eat this salad, then you can have a lollipop. Because once you do that, then they're in their adult life, they're always going to be looking for a reward, right? And that's not good, because the older you get, the bigger the reward's got to be. Like, oh, I just had a hard day at work. Okay, time to the strip club. I just completed this essay, so now it's time for this huge fattening hot dog with fries and Coke. You don't want that for your kids. You don't want that for anybody, right? So those were good tips right there. And when it comes to eating, period. Let me just close that off and bring me back right here. When it comes to eating, period, guys, I'm not in the business of telling people what to eat. I've really calmed down on that. I used to be like, oh, well, you can't eat that because of this, as if it was like, my body, but it wasn't my body. You know what I mean? It's not my body. So I can no longer like get upset with people with whatever they want to eat. What you eat is what you eat, and that is your decision. And like Jay-Z said, what you eat, don't make me shit. You know what I mean? What you eat, don't make me shit. So that's where I'm going to leave it off today, guys. And I'm really hoping that Anthem X, yo, peace, yo, everybody right now, I want you guys to go subscribe to Anthem X. Okay, now there's a couple Anthem X's out there on YouTube. So you're going to have to actually do some searching. And if you look in the chat, you can see what his avatar looks like, what it looks like. It's this like a triple knot, or it's like a infinity with like a circle through it. What's going on, Anthem X? Anthem X has done an incredible video. Let me see if I can go to his page. Go to channel. Yes, I can. Anthem X has done an incredible video. Hold on, I gotta make sure you guys can see it. Okay. On the moon's surface being a reflection of our Earth. Alright, where is it at? Videos. See, my shit is just crazy, bro. I'm trying to promote you heavy right now, and ChatGPT just done fucked me up. I think that I'm gonna have to restart my computer, and because after I asked ChatGPT that shit, it started bugging me out. So yo, bro, where's your shit, bro? He has these videos about the Earth. Like when you look up at the moon, you're really looking at the Earth's surface. It's a reflection, right? There's that theory going on right now. And I'm riding with that because it's pretty spot on. Like it's like the outlines that you see of the Earth, it's pretty spot on. And Anthem X, if you could just drop a link in the chat if you could just drop a link in the chat. Yeah. Carrots aren't good for you, but you know it's better than having a goat. You know, can we agree, Rebel? Yeah, carrots are man-made. They were made in Amsterdam or Holland or something like that, in like the 1700s or some shit. So no, orange carrots aren't good for you. It's a complete man-made thing. Just so they're actually not good for your eyes. Okay, now you want something that's good for your eyes. You want to go for the turnips and the things that was here before them, because the carrot is a crossbreed of a turnip and what was it? A turnip and something else. Um, but yeah, so I don't ride with carrots. But let's just say this: I think that we can all agree that a carrot is healthier than a piece of goat, than a piece of lamb or chicken, right? Than a drumstick. Hey, you want a drumstick or you want a carrot? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for a carrot. Yeah, that's how I think, Rebel, and everybody else. That's how I think. I'm off of the whole being pristine and like, bro, because you know what? When you're like that, then you go visit a country in Africa. You go visit Zimbabwe, and you're just asking for stress. You're asking for a headache. You're asking for just a lot of misery, because when you're eating so pristine like that and you like to travel or whatever, then now if you want to eat pristine and stay in your bubble, stay where you are, you go to work, go home, you go to the bar, you go home, whatever it is, you go out to that family outing and you come back home, that's cool. But if you want to travel and you want to open your eyes to different things, not a lot of places in the world are going to have what you have, right? And the thing about Dr. Sebi was he was very limited. Like, I wish he wrote a book. I wish he got like a chapter book out before his demise, because he only, first of all, he talks about the African bio mineral, the cell foods and all that, but a lot of the stuff that he sourced, that he was like citing, was grown in Honduras and was like native to Honduras. And I believe Dr. Sebi has been traveled to Africa, but remember, Africa is a huge place, and what they have in Ethiopia, they don't necessarily have growing in South Africa. What they have growing in the Namibian desert is not the same that they have growing in the in the Congo. What they have in Chad or in Ghana is not necessarily what they have growing in Malawi or Zimbabwe. And we have to realize that. I love Dr. Sebi. I am never going to say one bad thing about the brother, the elder. Now, there's a brother named Yaki Awaken. I'll put that in the chat. Yaki. Oh, man. Awakened. Guys, look at my chat. Look what's going on. It's crazy. He loves Dr. Sebi as well. He really rides for Dr. Sebi, and you know what? He took Dr. Sebi's teachings a step further. Okay? He took it a step further, and he is actually testing it in the laboratory. Now, Dr. Sebi would mention things like the blue vervain and bladderwrack, moringa, and sea moss. But what kind of sea moss? You know what I mean? Like, people say the St. Lucian sea moss is the best. But they have sea moss in the sea around Ireland. They have it in Asia, Malaysia, Singapore. They have it growing around the Philippines. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's all going to be good for you. They're all going to contain 50 minerals, 80 minerals. You know, so I don't like getting so locked in where I forget what I'm doing. I forget who I am. I forget what's important. You know what I mean? Because you gotta understand that there's more to life than being perfectly pristine with the diet. You could be perfectly pristine with the diet, but how do you come off to people? Do you rub people the right way? Are you always all up in their business about what they're eating? Do they feel comfortable eating or ordering food in front of you? Are you not invited to some parties now because you're just gonna get there and you say, oh, like he's gonna rag on all of us about what we're eating. He's gonna talk to us about how this isn't good. He's just such a drag. Everything ever since he went vegan, he's a drag. You know, you don't want that. Relationships are more important than that. And then there's the stress factor and the cortisol. How much cortisol are you releasing? And are you doing what it takes to clean that cortisol out of you? You know what I mean? It just goes on and on and on. So I just keep it at a very surface level. I eat what I eat. I cleanse. I fast. I allow my body to reset. I go on water fast 2-3 days a week. I just did a week a while ago. If you want to see videos on that, go to my shorts section of the shorts and you can see how I did. I wanted to do 40 days, but I was just working too much. And usually on a 40-day fast, 30 to 40 days, you just want to not be doing anything. You want to like sleep 8 to 12 hours a day. You know what I mean? You really want to let your body just focus on healing itself. So that was a huge thing that I stayed away from, was the whole, you know, putting people down or making them feel a certain way for eating how they want to eat. You know what I mean? It's not, I'm not in control of them, you know, and what they eat don't make me shit. So, that is what I am on these days, and that is how I live my life these days. So, yo, let me see. The chat. Anthem X has some, I guess he left, he's not watching. But he has some very, very compelling work, and I believe he's coming out with more things. So please hit him up. He emailed me. I wanna copy and paste his name into the stream right now. Anthem X. Please drop something in the chat and let them know where they can catch your video at pertaining to the globe being having us reflect, or the globe, the moon reflecting the earth on itself. Now, there's also a couple other channels that are dealing with this, and it's very compelling. And one of them makes a really good what's goody. One of them make a very compelling argument, saying that, you know, we have layers of the firmament dome. We have different layers, and each planet that we see is actually a different reflection of Earth. And every layer has a different type of a physical reality. Like, say there's X-rays, and then there's gamma rays. You see, X-rays will show you your bones and your skeleton, and it's usually a black and white, right? So when we look at the moon, we're looking at an X-ray photo of the Earth. And then there's another layer which will show the heat signature, and maybe that's Mars or Mercury. And then there's another layer that shows the watery layers, and maybe that's Venus. And then there's another layer that only shows the gassy makeup of our Earth. And that's why Jupiter is the biggest, because it's a gas giant, and it's like the outermost shell of our Earth. You know what I mean? I always said two things in this flat Earth movement. I said the Earth is definitely flat, or if it's not, then it's unimaginably more massive than they could ever be telling us, right? Because if everything kind of looks flat to us, but it's really a globe, and they're kind of double talking Hegelian dialect, then what they're really saying is that the world is actually way bigger than we think. Like, if we get I don't have a ball, but I do have this lid. Okay, so say this is the Earth, right? Then if it's a globe, there's a big if, then what we know, like Africa, Asia, North America, Australia, must be all in here. It must be all contained in here. Like, this is all 6 continents or whatever. There are no continents because it's all Earth. It's just water separating it, looking like it's separating it. But say if This little sticker right here, that little sticker up there, is North America, South America, Africa, Asia, Europe, and Australia all in there, then that would be like the only way that this is a globe, and this is way, 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 way bigger than we thought. Or it could be a globe, and we're living in a flat crater. That's the only things I've ever said. And we don't know yet because they won't show us any pictures or proof, but we know that there is no curvature that we can detect. But this channel, this one channel, and I can't even, oh God, God, Gev, I think it's GODGEVLMSTE. Guys, check, copy and paste. I'm about to. Yeah, Anthony. It's been Anthony Cruz. Oh, what's going on, bro? Been a long time. I'm back live streaming, y'all. I'm back live streaming multiple times a week. Share the videos, like the video. Please like the videos. I'm back. Masterpiece is back. I got a lot of exciting things that I want to do on this channel with y'all. But right now, if you look at the chat, I want you to copy and paste that channel, okay? That channel is actually the channel what I'm referring to when I talk about the different layers of the dome. Also, there is one called Vibes of Cosmos, which I'm sure most people are familiar with. They talk extensively about the layers of our atmosphere plane reflecting different layers of the Earth. And it's just very compelling. It's very, very, very compelling. So I suggest you guys go watch that. Now, for everybody else that has been rocking with me, been joining me for these streams, it's much appreciated. Much appreciated. And I will keep on doing this until I can't do it no more. Alright? Because I feel like, yo, I gotta get out the information if I can. You know, Anthem X is doing a great job. Anthem X is giving us videos that he's made about this whole reflection into the moon thing. So definitely go check that out. If you guys want any kind of tips about diet, about like, you know, how to transition off of cheese, or how to transition off of meat, dairy in general, eggs, what are some good replacements, ask me and I will let you know, because there are so many different things to eat. Like, I eat a very varied diet, right? There's a lot of variety in my diet. There's hundreds of thousands of fruits and vegetables in the world, with legumes and nuts and everything like that, roots and barks and leaves and shrubs and berries and melons, and I mean, it just goes on and on. The fungi, the shrooms, the seaweed, and all the other sea type food. Guys, there's so much options out there for us. So don't think that that we can't have exciting meals. You know what I mean? So if you guys have any type of questions about that, veganism or flat earth, or any questions in general, just drop me an email, masterpiece9@gmail.com, and I will try to get back to you on that, or just hit them up in the comment section, and what I will do is I will get back to those comments with a video. I'll answer the comments with a video. Alright, I hope that this stream has been powerful enough for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed yourself today. Happy Monday. And if there's anybody that you have a grudge against, fix that shit. Call them, let them know you're sorry. Heal those relationships. The most important thing we have in this world is relationships. So don't spoil them. And I hope everybody has a great week. I will see you on Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday and Friday, 9 a.m. and Friday at 9 a.m. And we're going to do an hour and we're going to get it in. All right, y'all. Peace.